Alright, come on. Hey everyone, welcome. It's kind of a spur of the moment stream. I've spent yesterday and a little bit of early this morning putting in some tests, building my own plane as I uploaded 2 clips of me, my first takeoff and flying of my plane. And I was testing, launching it into space today and testing the engines. Well, last night I was testing the engines of a more bigger plane. Here, let me. Same. Took the wings off the old one and put it on this new one. And so now, hey James, how's it going, bud? How you doing? Thank you for coming, bud. So what I did is I took the wings, the tail fin, the back piece off, or where the engines are attached. I made it a little slightly bigger. Let's go in here. Where's it at? Oh, it's not in here. Alright, no issues, no issues. Alright, so we'll start with that one, right? I believe that's the 2-person pod. Then we'll go fuel tanks. This will be no problem for me to build. Monopropellant. Or come on, snap on there. That one. There we go. There we go. Oxidizer. Definitely want the fuel tanks with the oxidizer in it because then it was right before I decided to go ahead and stream and show you guys kind of the tests that I've run through and all that. I had just put this up into space on my other file, my test file where I'm running most of my tests, and it worked all the way up to a certain point, and then the engines quit. Well, the engines quit because it was out of fuel. Let's see, which piece did I have on there? You know what? I'll save that. I'll just go ahead and go over to my other file and show you over there because I know it's on there. Load that one up. Oh, that's not the one. Space Center. Guess that was a quick save on this file. Let's go back to the main menu here. Resume saved. Goof off. Now this is the one where I have all, my planes built, because this is the file that I'm doing actually all the testings on and all that stuff. So that way, on the other one, I'm not actually going up there and bringing the guy home and, not showing you guys me bringing him home and stuff. Alright, back to the hangar. Putting that back up. And I know it's in here. Yep, there we go. Now, this is my first plane I created. And this is the plane in the videos of me flying. My first flyable plane. You can look even at all these pre-made planes. None of them have the two-seater. So this is my own creation. So from that, right, this didn't, you see in the test that I didn't have enough power or anything for it to actually get into space. So what I did is this is the one I have now. Now these engines here will operate in space. The only issue is they need oxidizer. If you look here, all it has is liquid fuel. So this is the steps I go through, guys. I mean, take that off, take that off, take that off, right? Now I want to keep those pieces, so those are going to stay there. So I need to detach them before I go and delete that fuel tank, delete that fuel tank. Now we'll go up here and we'll grab the one with the oxidizer in it and put those on there in place of the other one, right? Now all we do is reattach everything. For the tail, you know, kind of get behind it so you can kind of see that it's directly in the center. There we go. No, not that one. That button. There you go. And as you do, I'm kind of getting... Oh, all right, James. Later on, man. Have a good one. There we go. I think that should work. Now, I also installed a ladder here. Because the Kerbals, I believe, this right here is the hatch for them to get out of from up here. So, I mean, they got to get some way to get up and down, right? So I put a hatch in there. Seemed only appropriate. Alright, so we got that design there. So we'll save it. And we'll go to the launch pad. Now, part of doing this and going to the launch pad is I'm making sure that the wheels are and the wings are positioned properly enough that I don't need a back wheel, and it does look like they are. Alright, so that being said, let's recover the vessel. Alright, so we know when we come in, or start at that type of landing, or you know, it'll has its proper landing, gears properly set. Now we go to the space hangar, and now what we do is come in here, go to the space plane hangar, because that's where it's at. and we go down here to the unnamed. Load that in. Now, that is that plane, or from the hangar. Now, all this is based around this capsule here. So if I grab this capsule, it'll instantly switch. So now it's ready to be hooked up to some rockets and stuff like that. Alright, let's go ahead. We need to close these down, because we don't need them out while we're operating and launching. Something else I thought about possibly doing. Let's do this. I think it's utility. Yes, it is. Here it is. What I'm going to do, I thought about doing is put a couple of these solar panels in here, right? Actually, let's... There we go. Go ahead and put two on the other side over here. Alright, now I'm also going to put a small battery right there. That way you can, rechargeable battery, so it can recharge, if it needs to. Now, go back up here and we'll grab a light. So now, don't know if you can see it when it comes up. You can see it light up. So now it'll light up, something to light up in space. And then what I'll also do is I'll put one down here. Again, so you can kind of see it a little bit better in space, so if it ever comes to the dark side, you got room. Ooh, those may need to be moved. Let's move these. You know what? Let's put these all part of the same group. There we go. And we'll actually put these up here, because I know for a fact nothing up there is going to go. Nothing is going to go up there. Except for maybe braces, but not right there. So these are solar panels. So this is so it can recharge electrical energy when it's in space and able to face the moon, or the sun, excuse me. Still only need one battery pack though. Alright. Now let's flip it around. Time to throw on some decouplers. Now, one thing I'm going to think about for later is, I know there the docking bays, they're not in here, but the docking bays, eventually I kind of figured I might have to learn how to dock, just because I kind of came to the conclusion that this might actually be like a launch this up into space and then launch another shuttle with a fuel tank into space, so that way fuel or whatnot it uses to get in the orbit of the moon or orbit of whatnot or whatnot, it can replenish its fuel and oxidizer. So that's one of the reasons why today I am in here, is so I can run tests. Like I said, I thought it would be kind of cool to show you guys some of the steps that I go through in my testing and learning and all that stuff. So now I believe those are attached. Let's look attached. Yes, they are. Alright, cool. Now, this one. And one thing I've kind of learned about these rockets too is, one, there's only one speed, full blast. Two is you want to kind of set your rockets almost pretty much even as possible, because if one's slightly higher than the other, it will tend to lean in that direction, whichever way, is the higher one. Alright, so now we got the boosters attached. So let's go down here to structural, and we'll grab some bracers. Oh, there we go. So now what we want to do, and what this is going to do, is keep them from wobbling back and forth as much. And oh man, it does that every freaking time. Why? I don't understand. Why do you do that? It was doing that to me earlier today. It's kind of irritating when it does that. There we go. Back to what it was. Racers. Oh, I know why, I think. Let's go. Let's put that like that. There we go. Now it's working. Set that brace across. Like I said, it'll keep this is somewhat from wobbling and stuff. I'll also be putting in some RCS, so that it'll also help it keep it in control. Oops, almost forgot. I want to set it up so it's braced away from the ship as well. Hey Solar, how you doing, man? Thank you for coming. Welcome. So now just brace these up. Now we gotta go to the other side and brace those. The reason why you want to brace them is because when you start getting those high velocities and stuff, it'll start to wobble a little bit, and that can start tending to throw your trajectory off and causing you to use a little bit more of this monofuel for the RCS, because that's what's actually keeping me straight up and down majority of the time, is these little boosters. I'm doing good, man. Yesterday I'm kind of, kind of stoked at the same time. Yesterday I created my first plane in this game that actually flew. I goofed around it with it before, but none of them ever actually took off. Even from the, I couldn't even take it off from the runway. That's how bad, my planes were. Did some series of tests, and oh, did that. And some of this, reading some of this stuff underneath what it tells you underneath some of the objects, I kind of realized these were really beneficial. So that's why those are on there. They made that, and that kind of looks like make it look like a starfighter type thing. Thanks, bro. I appreciate it. But the whole point of this is in my first video that I had first loaded up. I had put a Kerbal on, one of these guys onto their moon. Well, in doing so, he's stuck there. He's on the moon. I successfully landed it on the moon. You know, got that taken care of. But the issue is he has no fuel or no engine. So even if he had the fuel, he has no engine to get home. So I am trying to create something that will get there, get him, and come home. Because I've already lost 2 Kerbals, so we'll see what happens. Alright, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to start putting some of these winglets on. And again, these will help me stay in control. Slightly go, just small. Darn it. There we go. These things can be touchy sometimes. The build process can be tedious sometimes, but all in all, it's the best thing to do because, yeah, see, you can tell that these aren't straight right here. It's the best thing to do because you saw all those pre-made ships, man. I can use them. I've tested them. I've tried to work with some of them. I've taken like the space shuttle one. I tried to use this. I got it to go into space. Just that after that, I couldn't get much else to really work because it was out of fuel. And and that probably has a lot to do with me not knowing the right, trajectory or delta V or whatnot. But again, it's all a learning experience to me. Like I said, I've ruined I don't know how many planes trying to just take off from the runway before that one actually took off from the runway. So I made an improvement on it. Alright, so now what we're going to do now is we're going to put some more of those little thrusters on here. And this will help keep these a little bit more in line. Again, this is pretty much all so I can shoot straight up in the air right after launch. I don't want to do any variations or anything like that. I want to go straight up. And these will help me do it. This one will work in space, launch up in the air into space, go get them. This rocket will get this ship most likely into space. Well, I know for a fact it will get it into space, but it won't. I'll end up running out of fuel before I could actually probably get this ship here actually to the moon. So like I'm thinking it's going to be like a refuel. I'm going to have to send up another ship with enough fuel and oxidizer to refuel this ship, which is means I'm going to have to learn how to dock. Um, and that'll be fun. um, but then also sending a ship with enough fuel over to the moon to orbit the moon, so it can refuel over there possibly too. So it might be like a 3 or 4 stage operation. But that is why I am here, though, is to test to see, what the limits was. Right before I started streaming, I had gotten it, this right here has gotten me into space. The problem is the engines had ran out of oxidizers because I had the engines in there, or excuse me, these fuel tanks that I had initially didn't have the oxidizer. So when, it was out, that was it. So now I switched those out for these, which will have the oxidizer. So we'll see how it'll operate in space that way. Oops. So now these are bracings, kind of keep the ship stable before flight. Alright, let's go to the crew. Let's go to Jeb. Only want one in there, because because that's what's going to happen, is I'm going to have one in there. Alright. Excuse me. Save that, and we're going to go to launch. Now, if it's dark outside, I will fast forward till daytime so that I let you see a little easier. Oh, no, it's day. Alright. So now, so the RCS, SAS on. We'll check our staging. Those are those are the bracers, alright. Kick those when those are done, and then those boosters. Perfect. Now, these 4 boosters, I don't have to worry about throttle or anything because they're 1 speed, on and off. That's it. So, here we go. See the shadow down there on the ground, just getting past the space center there. Please work. Yeah, I'm hoping so. It should get us at least into space, and then from there we'll see how the other engines perform, and hopefully put us at least into an orbit. And then also hopefully have enough fuel to get us at least in deorbit. Because otherwise we'll have another rescue mission again. You see the wind. I'm going so fast, 420 meters a second. I'm going so fast at the wind. It's getting close to rollover time. Alright, there we go. Now I know I'm supposed to roll to the east, but the way the plane is situated, I'm going to roll this way. To the north. Get a polar orbit. We have Jebediah in the rocket. Actually, he is, in my other file, he is actually the guy that is stuck on the moon that we actually have to rescue. He's Jebediah Kerman. Ace astronaut or Kerbonaut. I want to get this up. Oh. Oh, they are going. Okay, cool. And we are still going. So I want to get this roughly about 80,000 here at the app-laps. And then from there, we'll cut the engines and we'll set up a maneuver, which should put us in orbit. We're good. Well, it's worked so far. Now at the point now where I am going to be, as soon as I get the camera out enough, I am setting up and hopefully an orbital burn. So I go into orbit. We'll see. $76,000. That'll work. That will work. All right. Point toward it. We'll see, Solar. We got 1 minute 14 seconds to the maneuver mode. We are officially actually really in space at the altimeter or the atmosphere gauge up there. We are actually officially in space, but now I am going to be setting up a maneuver here in like a minute. And that's where the trick question comes. So far, it's worked a lot better than my other one. "48 seconds. It's going to be a long burn, so I'm probably going to start the burn roughly about 30 seconds left here, which is in about 5 seconds, just because it's such a long burn. And that's where the test will be. And as you see too, is I haven't really used much of its fuel. So yeah, it's gonna be a 2-minute burn. So if this works, Solar, when this works, you'll see the camera kind of do a weird little like turn, and that means I hit orbit, and that means it worked. And I'll be really excited, really, really, really excited. Alright, so now he's starting to use some of his fuel, so it's getting close to like a half a tank. Alright, we got 1 minute, 5 seconds left on our burn. Hey Paul, how you doing, man? Thank you for coming. Welcome. You're just in time to hopefully catch me put my very first plane into orbit. Well, one I've built personally. I felt like I played around with some of the loadable ones, but I felt like that would be cheating a little bit, and then I couldn't really get them to work. So I figured I'd build my own and run some tests, and I got my first working plane, which I improved on that to hopefully put this into orbit, which we'll find out here in hopefully 32 seconds. But yeah, he's using a lot of fuel and a lot of oxidizers, so chances are, yeah, it's going to definitely take some refueling. Yeah, it's almost out of oxidizer. Jeez. Oh, jeez. Stop wobbling. Stop wobbling. And I'm out of oxidizer. Well, it didn't work. Fell short, Solar. Fell short. That's what these tests are all about, though. Why did SAS get turned off? I don't understand. That's what screwed me up. Alright. Back to the vehicle assembly we go. Oh, we ran out of oxidizer. So, um, hmm. Yeah, I know. I know. I know, Solar. I feel that way too. It really looked like it was going to go. That's right, though. That's what this is all about. That's what this is all about. Trial and error. You know what I mean? You, so how am I going to change that? We put. Oh, probably ain't going to need all three of these down, but this is what I'm thinking. Put one here. Alright. So now we know that one, it runs through a lot of oxidizer and stuff. So what we're going to try to do now is try to put a little bit more rockets on it, I guess, to help it get possibly into orbit and then test it from there or get it even closer. Make sure. Oh, keep doing that. All right. Looks like it's attached. Yeah, so I'm kind of disappointed myself. Come on, snap on there. There you go. Did that work? No. I saw it come up at the last minute. See, this thing is weird. Hmm. Fine. We'll get rid of those then if you want to be a pain. Look. Oh, there it goes. Now it wants to snap. Uh-oh. That might be an issue. Oh, well, that would be why. There we go. Much better. Much better. Now I should clear it. Now it should clear it. So oh no. It smashed the screen. I hope you can still see. Alright, so those are there so we can hopefully add more boosters to it. Apparently I'm zoomed out as far as I can go. Yep. So then what we'll do is we'll take those boosters that we just had and throw them back on there. Now these are really tricky to get attached. Think that should do it. No, see what I mean? Oh yeah, that is a very good thing. That is a good thing, Solar. I still hope your phone ain't broke though. Still would suck. Alright, so now what we're gonna do here is we're gonna put nose cones on them, obviously. Less air resistance. Alright. Then we'll brace them. So again, so they, they're so they're not wobbling all over the place. Hey, Rebel, what's up? How you doing, man? Guys, go check out Rebel and Tall Paul, and I believe Solar. Solar, you stream too, right? How you doing today, Rebel? Ooh, well, hopefully you can at least see somewhat of the phone numbers you're that are coming in, so you don't answer the wrong phone call. So Rebel, what I'm doing today, this is kind of an improved model of my plane, and so what I'm trying to do today is I'm running it through. No, Rebel, I didn't. No. Well, I asked how. Well, yeah, I asked how you were doing today. Oh, okay. Yeah, I feel you. I feel you, Solar. All right. So what we're gonna do here, before we even mess with that other side, because I know this is not gonna be enough. Again, we're gonna need the winglets. Thanks, bro. Thanks. we can see it operates up in space. The problem is it ran out of oxidizer from the engines before it actually got into orbit. So I am trying to figure out a way to get it into orbit, and so I can actually test it in the space. The rescue mission is probably, from what I'm gonna look at, is probably gonna be a set of refuelers. They're Rebel. Oh, look, you hear me moving? Game froze. Wow. Wow. Sorry, guys. The only thing that works is PlayStation button. Unfortunately, I'm gonna have to call it quits.